When you think of economic powerhouses in Asia, two names probably jump right out: Hong Kong and Taiwan. They're two of the original four Asian tigers famous for their explosive growth. But behind those incredible skylines and all that economic buzz, there's this invisible architecture, right? A super complex set of rules that decides how businesses actually run, compete, and succeed. So let's pull back the curtain and see what's really going on.
So on one side, you've got Hong Kong, a massive global hub for finance. You picture that iconic harbor, money just flowing in and out from all over the world. And on the other side, there's Taiwan, a real leader in tech and manufacturing, with a vibe that's all about industrial power. They look different, they feel different, but you know what they have in common? They both built their success on a bedrock of trust and stability.
And that's really the big question here, isn't it? What are these invisible rules that are driving all this success? We're going to take a peek into the unseen engine room of these economies, the corporate and financial rulebooks that shape absolutely everything, from a big shareholder meeting all the way down to an employee's rights.
To get our heads around it, first we'll talk about the basic rules of the game and why they're so important. Then we'll meet the financial watchdogs who keep everyone in line. After that, we'll compare the corporate playbooks, dig into how they manage risk, and wrap it all up with what this means for you, whether you're an investor, a business owner, or just working there.
Okay, let's kick things off with the rules of the game. Now, it's really easy to hear the word compliance and just think, red tape, paperwork, a total headache. But honestly, these rules are the foundation of a market you can actually trust. They're what gives an investor the confidence to say, yeah, I'll put my money here, and they make sure everyone is playing by the same fair rules.
And at the very heart of all this is a big idea called corporate governance. The easiest way to think about it is like a constitution, but for a company. It's the whole system, all the rules, all the practices that says how a company should be directed and controlled. And its main goal? It's pretty simple: protect the rights and interests of the people who actually own the company, the shareholders. Of course, rules are pretty useless if nobody's there to enforce them, right? So let's meet the financial watchdogs, the ones making sure the whole system stays honest in both Hong Kong and Taiwan.
And right away, you can see they've got pretty different ways of doing things. Hong Kong has what they call the Big Four. You've got the HKMA for banking, the SFC for the markets, the Insurance Authority, and the MPFA for retirement funds. Taiwan's setup is a bit more streamlined, with two main players: the Financial Supervisory Commission, which has a really wide scope, and Ministry of Economic Affairs, which is all about company registration and filings.
All right, so we've met the referees. Now let's look at the actual playbook that companies have to follow. This is where the different philosophies of Hong Kong and Taiwan really start to show in the day-to-day stuff.
So, Taiwan's approach? It's all about the details. They get right down into the nuts and bolts of running a company. Their laws lay out these super precise requirements for just about everything, from accounting to HR.
For example, check out this number. In Taiwan, if your company has a paid-in capital of 30 million new Taiwan dollars or more, boom, you are legally required to get your financial statements audited by a CPA. It's a hard and fast rule, a clear line in the sand, no wiggle room.
And that level of detail? It goes for employee rights too. The standard work week is set at 40 hours. If you go over that, the law is incredibly specific about how you get paid for overtime: 134% for the first 2 hours and 167% for the next 2. That kind of precision really defines Taiwan's corporate rulebook.
Now, Hong Kong, they're playing a totally different game. Their playbook isn't so much about writing down every single operational detail. It's more about setting up broad principles that make sure the financial markets as a whole are healthy and have integrity. The goal is just to create an environment that's free, fair, and transparent for everyone.
And here are the pillars that hold that whole philosophy up. Hong Kong's market is built on massive liquidity, which means money can move in and out easily. They take a lot of pride in minimal government interference and a really strong independent rule of law. And, this is crucial, there are no exchange controls. Capital can flow freely across borders. These big ideas guide the regulations, not a giant checklist of specific rules.
So what's the glue holding these playbooks together? Well, both of them rely on this really powerful idea to make sure the engine keeps running smoothly: a solid system of internal control. And this isn't just about following rules. It's about building a framework for stability and growth from the inside out.
I love this quote from the Hong Kong Institute of Certified Public Accountants because it just nails it. Internal control isn't supposed to be a burden, it's a strategic tool. It's all about putting systems in place that actually help a company hit its goals by managing the risks that could get in the way.
And this whole system is built on 5 key parts, based on a global framework called COSO. It all starts with a control environment, the tone at the top. Then you've got risk assessment, figuring out what could possibly go wrong. After that, control activities, the actual things you do to handle those risks. And finally, information and communication, so everyone's in the loop, and monitoring to make sure the system is actually working over time.
A really great way to picture this is with a gyroscope. You know how a gyroscope stays perfectly balanced and upright no matter how you tilt or move it? Well, a strong internal control system does the exact same thing for a company. It helps it navigate all the chaos, market swings, internal problems, surprise risks, all while staying locked on its goals.
Okay, so we've been through the rules, the regulators, the frameworks, but why does any of this actually matter in the real world? Let's connect all these ideas to the real impact they have on people like you and me.
When you boil it all down, the two philosophies are crystal clear. Hong Kong's system is built to protect the health and integrity of the financial market as a whole. That helps pretty much everyone who uses it. Taiwan's system, though, puts its focus on super detailed corporate compliance to directly protect the rights of a company's owners, the shareholders. There are just 2 different roads leading to the same destination, a stable, trustworthy economy.
And you can really see this market-focused thinking in Hong Kong's safety nets. For instance, there's a deposit protection scheme that covers your bank's savings up to $500,000 Hong Kong dollars. And hey, if your broker goes belly up, the Investor Compensation Fund can cover your losses up to $150,000. The protection is all about the financial institutions you deal with.
Now hop over to Taiwan and you'll see the power is put directly into the shareholders' hands. They have a legal right to get 20 days notice before the big annual meeting. They can look at the company's financial reports 10 days before that. They even have the power to hire their own inspector to go through the company's books. It's all about giving the owners the tools to keep management in check.
So all of this brings us to one last big question. The financial world is changing, fast. We're dealing with brand new challenges, like virtual assets or crypto, and figuring out sustainable finance. So given their very different approaches, Hong Kong's flexible, principle-based system versus Taiwan's super detailed rulebook, which one do you think is better equipped to adapt and win in the future? It's a fascinating thing to think about, and there's definitely no easy answer.